You look at your bank account and say, see, I'm broke. You look at your dating app and say, see, no good people. You feel like you're just observing facts. But Seth says you're looking at a magic trick and believing it's real.
Right. Which brings us directly to Chapter 3 of The Nature of Personal Reality.
Wow.
The text has this incredibly powerful line, and I want to read it verbatim so we get it exactly right.
Yeah, go for it.
It says, "Your senses show you the results of your beliefs, not the beliefs themselves."
So my eyes are lying to me.
Not lying, showing you a movie you already agreed to watch.
Wow.
Right? Completely flips everything. And then Chapter 4 really drives this home by explaining the mechanics behind it. The text says the emotions are the driving force behind the physical construction. So today we're really going to dig into what we call the proof loop and, how to actually use your emotion as the fuel for your reality instead of letting it work against you.
I mean, it's a huge claim, right? Because we are so wired to think that the physical world is just this hard, objective thing. Like, if my bank account says 0, that's just a cold, hard fact.
Exactly. We think we're just innocent bystanders observing the facts. But Seth is essentially diagnosing our entire problem with this concept of the proof loop.
Okay, so break down this proof loop for me. How does that actually work in, everyday life?
Well, it starts with a core belief. So let's say you hold the belief, I am unlucky.
Okay.
That belief acts as a filter. Your physical senses, your eyes, your ears, they literally go out into the world and search exclusively for evidence that matches the belief that you are unlucky.
So they're actively hunting for bad luck.
Yes, and they will find it. You'll get a flat tire, or you'll spill your coffee, or you'll get passed over for a promotion. And simultaneously, your senses will completely ignore or filter out any evidence of good luck.
Wait, really? So if something good happens, I just won't even notice it?
You'll brush it off. You'll call it a fluke, because it doesn't fit the blueprint of the belief. So your senses gather all this negative evidence, and then you look at that evidence and say, see, I told you I'm unlucky.
Oh, man.
Right? Because belief, then selective perception, then evidence, and that leads to an even stronger belief. You just keep reinforcing the loop.
You know what that sounds like? It's literally like a social media algorithm.
Oh, I love that. Tell me more.
Well, if you click on sad news on your feed, the algorithm strictly feeds you more sad news. It hides all the positive updates. And then you look at your feed and you think, the whole world is just sad and terrible.
Yes.
But it's not the whole world. It's just the algorithm feeding you back your own clicks.
That is the perfect analogy. Seth is basically saying that your beliefs are the algorithm for your physical reality. You click on a negative belief, and the universe just feeds you more of it.
It makes total sense, but it's also terrifying. Because we're doing this to ourselves all the time without even realizing it.
We really are. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is where Chapter 4 comes in. It's not just cold mental thoughts that create this algorithm. Emotion is the engine.
Okay, emotion is the engine. What does that mean exactly?
Seth explains that thoughts actually have an electromagnetic reality. They aren't just, abstract ideas floating in your head. They're energetic signals. But a thought without emotion is weak. It doesn't have the power to manifest anything.
Right.
Well, a thought with emotion, that sends out a massive, highly charged signal.
So if I'm terrified of being broke, that terror is like putting a megaphone to the thought.
Exactly. And this is the biggest problem, right? This is the trap most people fall into when they try to manifest something. They try to manifest from a feeling of lack.
Oh, I do this all the time.
We all do. You say, I want more money. But the underlying emotion you're feeling is anxiety because you don't have it yet.
Yeah, you're stressed about bills while you're trying to think about being rich.
Right. And the universe, or the algorithm, doesn't listen to your words. It listens to the emotional frequency. So if your emotion is anxiety and lack, the algorithm says, they're broadcasting lack. Let's send them more lack.
Oh, so trying to manifest from desperation just creates more desperation.
Precisely. You must feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
Yeah.
That is the only way to change the electromagnetic signal.
That is so wild, but also, really hard to do when you're stressed.
It is incredibly hard. And I think to really understand this, we have to look at Jane Roberts herself, the woman who channeled this material.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about her. Because, if she knew all this, did she just have a perfect life?
Not at all. And that's why the Seth material, the biographical context behind these books, is so important. Jane actually struggled with this exact thing.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. There was a time when she was trying to manifest a better publishing deal for her books, and she was desperate for it. She thought about this deal constantly.
Like obsessing over it.
Exactly. Obsessing from a place of frustration and worry. She was staring at her empty desk, checking the mail, just constantly stressed that it hadn't happened yet.
Which is the exact opposite of what Seth says to do.
Right. And Seth actually called her out on it. He told her, essentially, you are sending a massive electromagnetic signal of, I don't have it. And you're using all of your emotional fuel to reinforce the lack.
Man, it's so relatable, though. When you want something so bad, the absence of it is all you can feel.
It's completely human.
Right.
But Seth gave her a very specific practice to fix it. He told Jane she had to learn to sit quietly, close her eyes, and actually feel the relief of already having the contract signed.
Even though she didn't have it.
Even though her desk was completely empty. She had to generate the emotion of relief and satisfaction first.
That feels like a Jedi mind trick. You have to be relieved about something that hasn't happened.
It is a mind trick. But that shift in feeling was the turning point for her. Once she stopped broadcasting the frustration and started broadcasting the relief, the deal actually came through.
That is incredible. And it really shows that, it's not just about repeating positive affirmations like a robot.
No, the words mean nothing without the emotion.
Wow.
If you say, I am wealthy, but you feel terrified, you are manifesting terror.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Because I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, okay, I want to change my algorithm. I want to stop my own proof loops. But when I'm in the middle of a bad day, how do I actually pivot?
That is the perfect question, and Seth gives us some very practical tools for this. I want to introduce 2 simple techniques today based on chapters 3 and 4.
Awesome. I am ready.
The first one is called Spot the Proof Loop.
Spot the proof loop. Okay.
The goal here is to catch yourself in the act of gathering negative evidence. So when you notice something that triggers a negative belief like looking at your bank account or getting a rejection, and your brain says, see, I told you so.
Right, that I knew it feeling.
Exactly. When you feel that I knew it feeling, you have to pause and say this specific phrase. This is the result of a belief I hold. Other evidence exists.
Okay, wait, say that one more time.
This is the result of a belief I hold. Other evidence exists.
I love that. Other evidence exists. It's like you're reminding yourself that you're only looking at a tiny, curated sliver of reality.
Yes. You're acknowledging the algorithm. You aren't denying that the bank account is low. You're just refusing to accept it as an absolute truth about your entire existence. You're opening the door for other possibilities.
Because the other evidence is there, I've just been filtering it out.
Exactly. It breaks the hypnotic trance of the negative belief.
Okay, so that's the first technique. What's the second one?
The second technique is the 60-second feeling pivot.
60 seconds. That sounds doable.
It is very doable, but you have to do it correctly. You pick something small that you want. Don't start with $1 million or curing a massive illness. Pick something small.
Like maybe just a fun weekend plan or a small, unexpected check.
Perfect. Pick that desire, close your eyes, and just for 60 seconds, imagine the feeling of having it.
So I don't need to picture exactly how it happens, like visualizing the mailman handing me the check.
No. In fact, Seth warns against getting too bogged down in this specific visualization because that can trigger the logical brain to say, that's impossible.
Oh, right, because my brain will just argue with the picture.
Exactly. Just feel the feeling. Relief. Ease. A small smile. Just let your body physically relax into the feeling that it is already done. Don't force it. Just feel it.
Just a small smile, a little bit of relief. I can do that.
You do this once a day. And there's a specific quote from chapter 4 that summarizes why this works. Seth says, the feeling of the thing desired is itself a magnetic force.
The feeling of the thing desired is itself a magnetic force. That is brilliant.
It really is. You're essentially turning yourself into a magnet for that specific reality by holding the emotional frequency.
Okay, so I want to challenge the listener right now, like an actual exercise they can do today based on this.
Let's do it, a 24-hour exercise.
Yeah, so part 1 of the exercise, catch one proof loop today. Just one. When you catch yourself thinking, see, I always mess this up, or see, traffic is always terrible for me, I want you to pause and say the phrase.
This is the result of a belief I hold. Other evidence exists.
Exactly. Say it out loud if you have to. Just catch the algorithm in the act.
I love that. And part 2 of the 24-hour exercise will be the 60-second feeling pivot.
Pick a small desire.
Right. Pick one small thing. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and just feel it fulfilled for 60 seconds. Don't stress about the details. Just let yourself feel the relief of it.
Man, this feels practical and doable. It's not like I have to overhaul my entire life in one day, just 60 seconds and catching one bad thought.
That's the beauty of this material. It's profound, but the application is deeply personal and very grounded. You just have to start recognizing the magic trick you're playing on yourself.
So true. Well, I am definitely trying this today. I'm going to find my proof loops.
I think you'll be surprised by how many you catch once you start looking. And this is really just the foundation. Once you understand the proof loop, you can start looking at how your physical body reacts to these beliefs.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I bet the body's a whole other level of this.
It absolutely is. And that's exactly what we're covering next time. Next time we talk to the body, chapters 5, 6, and 7, your body believes every word you say. And those random urges you ignore, they're your inner GPS. We'll learn to listen.
I cannot wait for that. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for breaking this down.
My pleasure. Remember, other evidence exists.
Other evidence exists. I love it. Talk to you next time.